the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the main.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. Cade York set to do the honors here, and we are underway from Cleveland. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Throwing now is Brady. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
450. Brady now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, You have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Here's Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. He's up to the 20, and they work this out past the 25. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On first down, Watson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again is Watson. Being chased out left. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That's where having a mobile quarterback really pays dividends, because that old school stand in the pocket, make your throw guy, he doesn't make that play.
In addition to the mobility, how about his eyes? Just kept them downfield, locked on the target, created a big play out of it.
Didn't matter the chaos around him. He still found his guy.
Watson on first down. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you got them back.
Touchdown, Browns! Deshaun Watson on target to David Njoku. And the Browns go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Fournette once more on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go up. No, 66. Hey, check it. Check it, reload. Hey, 66.
To throw is Brady. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's good for 28 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 30-yard line. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They begin this drive with Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson steps away to his left. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To the air yet again, Watson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
72.
Back to throw here. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That gain on third down, good for 28.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This is caught by Evans. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
Again, they'll throw with Brady.
He'll find Fournette again here. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they may be content to take this 7-0 lead into the locker room. We'll see.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Jamel Dean.
Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. The final shot before half for Brady. And he's got it. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game. Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Watson forced out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Now Watson. And that will be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a two-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
From the 36, Brady to Evans on the slant. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
450.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Sliding up, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack.
Let's go up. No, 66.
They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Hey, touch. Easy.
They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Brady going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game.
Check it, reload!
Here's Brady to throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are an extra point away from drawing level. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Watson gets this one to Cooper.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On first down, Watson. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Watson looks to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, it's Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper. And the Browns answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that brings up third and a full 10 yards. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Throwing is Brady on third down.
Quick throw, finding Mike Evans. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing on first down is Brady. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Throwing now, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Watson on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Schwartz. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Now it's Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
On second and goal, Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Browns tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
16 more on that one and another first down.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. On first down, it's Watson. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Back to throw, Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper. And the Browns have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So it goes from a 3-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the fourth quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took what little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? Put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.